Class, listen. Our lesson for the writing today is about the expository writing. First, all eyes and listen. We need to know what is expository. Expository means explain and expose. Don't say tell, because if you say tell, that is for narrative. Narrative meaning telling a story about yourself. It can be non-fiction and it can be fiction. It can be real or an imagination. When you say describe, then that forms descriptive kind of essay. So you know, I need to expose, I need to explain this. That is expository. When we say essay, take note of the essay. It has three. Yes, I am. 3 to 5
And the paragraph would be 3 to 5 sentences.
Very good. And when you say expository paragraphs, it has 3 to 5 sentences. Don't say lines, because lines is for poem or poem or poem. You understand? Now you have to listen to this video clip that I prepared for you guys. It's about expository writing. All eyes, I will ask you later on what this video tells us.
Details, facts, and information. Through expository writing, you, the author, make observations about the topic, show them to your reader, and by doing so, you help to illuminate the topic for him or her. If you are successful, your reader will walk away from your writing better informed or with a deeper understanding of the topic. And if you do a really good job, your reader's interest may even be piqued enough to explore the topic further. The topics in expository writing are nearly endless. There are 4 kinds of expository essay prompts that appear often. They are definition, cause-effect, process, and opposing idea essays. Definition essays provides a full explanation of a term or idea. It can also include an explanation of what a term or idea is not. The cause-effect essay explains the relationship between 2 or more events. It may identify an event and explore the possible effects of it, or it may look at something that has happened and try to explain its causes. A process essay provides a description of how something works, or an explanation of how to do something. It can take the form of detailed instructions or a chronological accounting of events. Opposing idea essay explains 2 or more sides of an issue. The goal is not to argue for one side or the other, but to fairly present all of the points of view about a topic. It is useful for informing someone about a controversy so they can better understand why the opposing sides disagree. Now we will look at the basic organization of an expository essay. This diagram shows the major parts that join together to create the essay. These parts are true regardless of what type of essay that you will read. The triangle at the top presents the beginning, or introduction. It will open with your hook and end with your thesis, represented by this shining golden star. It's a star because the thesis is the star of the show. It is the single most important sentence in the entire essay, because everything else in the essay is there to serve that sentence. The 4 rectangles in the middle represent the body of the essay. That is where you support your thesis with evidence. You can use a variety of supporting paragraphs to do this, and depending on the length of the essay you are writing, they will be usually around 3 to 4. The triangle at the bottom is the end or conclusion. That is where you remind your reader what the point of the whole essay has been and explain why it matters. Think of this organization like a machine. All parts of it are working together for a goal. The hook smoothly introduces your thesis, the body of your essay supports your thesis, and the conclusion restates your thesis and extends it a step further to provoke thought or show how that idea can be applied in real life. Let's now look at the individual parts of the organization. The introduction paragraph can be split into three parts. The first part, again, is the hook. We mentioned it earlier. All that means is that the first sentence of the essay should engage the reader, grab their attention, and introduce the subject in an interesting way. Students often think the best way to do this is to ask a question at the beginning of the essay, but that's overused, and I really recommend you do something else. I highly recommend you use a strong statement or a surprising fact. After you've engaged the reader with a good opening sentence, you want to give some background information. That just means any information that is essential for the reader to agree with the topic. It could be an explanation of why the topic is controversial to begin with, or why it is important. Once you've given the background information, it's time to give your thesis, which again is the single most important sentence of your entire essay. It is always the last sentence of the introductory paragraph, and it is the main idea. Let's talk about theses real quick. There are two main types of essays that people write. Argument essays, they persuade the reader to agree with the opinion of the writer, and expository essays. These inform the reader about the subject. Argument essays contain a thesis, which is an opinion that will be supported with evidence. An expository essay uses a
I will explain now, and you all have to again listen, okay? So our lesson is what?
Expository.
Yes, Oli. And what is expository essay?
An expository essay is a writing or a story that exposes or explains about the main object.
Very good. Danny, well, it said that expository essay is about to explain, or you have to expose to what is in the story, or you have to write a story that explains or that exposes. How? First, you have to know the organization or the diagram. The organization's diagram, the book, which means the title, your book here, title, which has this thesis statement. After that, you have to give the reason 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, thesis statement is very important. Thesis statement contains the central idea. What is central idea? Plus 1.
Idea means the main idea, like
Very
the
good.
main idea of this.
Plus 1. That's the main idea. So, class, listen. When we say central idea, or we call it main idea. But what is the central idea or the main idea?
The central idea is the most important part of the story.
Exactly.
Because you tell the reader about the meaning of the story. Why
See?
you picked
You are only in grade 4, but you have the grade 7, 8, and 9 level of mind. Thank you. So, thanks. Okay, when you say central idea, or we call it main idea or central idea, according to you, believe, it is the most important part in the story. So you have to think here. Now, after you have the book, you have the thesis statement, you have the topic sentence, which supports the thesis statement, you give the reason 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, or 10. Then you have the conclusion. Conclusion means you need to be equal. You need to have a support from this introduction. And then you have to do this one. Abdurrahman. When you say expository, you have to give definition. The meaning of definition is?
meaning?
You have to give the meaning. Kaya, if you are doing an expository essay, you can think of, I have to give the definition, the meaning. I have to explain. Tayan. Aside from you are going to explain the meaning of what you are trying to write, you also have to
make the event, the cause, and then it happens.
okay, it means the effect and the causes, the effects or the causes, the event problems, okay? What is the cause of this event? What is the result? Cause means the
Action.
reason.
Reason?
Yes. And the effect means the
What does?
result.
What it does, the result, yeah.
Yes. And you have the process. Class, you listen all
Process
This-
means steps.
Abdul Malik. Process means,
Steps.
or another word for this process means the no logical
Order.
order or the sequence of the event.
You learned us about this.
Look, you taught us about that, and I learned it from you. You have to say the first, next, then, and then.
After.
Yes, you can write after, very good, or before. Then you can put the last one, which is the last one, or you can say finally.
Lastly.
Who said that? Very good. You can also say lastly, I could say. Alright. And that is the process. Now the opposing means the disagreement. Like for example, talagang masar. I am explaining about something, but I have to put a negative comments, a negative idea, because in the opposing ideas, this will help you to give an expository.
Because opposing ideas help you to make an event.
Very good.
And it tells you why these teams are against each other.
Can you please come here and re-explain what is all about the expository, the one that I wrote and explained to them? Okay, guys, you all have to listen. I am with Walid now. Guys, please, all eyes, all ears, listen now. Start.
An expository essay is a story or an explanation story that explains or exposes the main object. This is the organization. First, the hook, which is the title, because it's the most important part of the story. Because it tells you about the story and makes you ready to understand. Then you do from reading 1 to reading 4 about to support your title or story or information, and the conclusion helps. The title helps the conclusion. Helps the conclusion to be understood well. Understood. And in the expository essay, you can think about what to put the definition, which is the meaning, and the cause and effect. The cause, like for an event, if an event happens, there is a reason for it to happen, and then the effect is when we see what happens from that reason. The process is the steps, or it's also called the
Chronological order.
chronological order, which is first, then, and then after, or you can put before, and then you can say either lastly or finally. Opposing ideas are negative feelings that help you make an event because it tells you why the teams are apart and why they think all of that negativity. Thank you.
Okay, you always make me happy. You can be a scientist, a doctor, a fighter, because your brain is big. Guys, do you understand him?
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost the same when I explain the lessons, right? Okay, now you are on page. Let's apply now. Let's use what I gave you here. Okay? Now, what you have to do is to get go on pages 4.1, sorry, 4.4 to 4.5. Okay?
It's just story. Do we read it?
Yes, we have to read it aloud, up quiet. Read it loudly, please.
Last year, a new student arrived at our school. She wasn't in my
Excuse
grade.
me, I need to get the attention of Caius. Caius doesn't need a writing notebook. You make me sad. You need to see the tears flowing on your eyes. You have to bring it next time, okay?
Okay.
Same with Abdul night. Ready, louder your voice, please.
Last year, a new student arrived at our school. She wasn't in my grade, but my friends and I would see her around school a lot. The girl's name was Sasha, and she had moved here from another country. Sasha was having a hard time getting used to living here. So my friends and I decided to make her feel welcome. My friend Emily, in particular, went out of her way to help. It wasn't long after Sasha arrived that my friends and I noticed her. She was having difficulty fitting in. When we were outside
Stop.
playing,
I need Danny to continue reading. See, you don't know where it is from. Yes, I don't mind your reading.
during recess,
Louder your voice, I don't mind.
we do noise. Sasha sitting on the grass all by herself. We would be laughing, playing ball and running around, and Sasha would
And
just
Shasha, and Shasha. How many Shashas do we have there?
You
One.
wanted to
Avoid the repetitions of the words, phrases, or clauses. Shasha, Shasha, Shasha. Okay, you know the Shasha Familia?
Teacher, you want to
Huh?
would just be watching us in time. She wasn't even doing that. She was just looking down. She seemed sad and